Good, 13 seconds. Alhamdulillah. Hallelujah. Allah Akbar. Alhamdulillah. So this is the gray one. Hi. A gray iPod, second prayer at the U.S. Supreme Court, Juma makeup prayer, the Lord's Prayer with a Christian family. Yeah, nice. There's blind justice. There's blind justice. Blind justice, right? The young man has his shirt pulled up over his face. And there's an example of Eve with her fig leaf and her Grecian sandals, ready to lead the way and direct traffic with her beauty and grace. And here's Eve with her family in green fig leaf shirts and blue for the holy water. Teamwork and independence. Families value teamwork and independence. Isn't that right? Good. Perfect teamwork, family. Hi. Come back again when you have some more time. We need you guys. Come back again when you have some more time, please. I guess that's drawing attention to a cause. The court. Is that permitted?
Oh, actually, I think one of covering the prayer thing.
Perfect guard, dog. Canine. Police with an arm dangling over next to the PO. Oh, who wants us to go into the underground visitor center? Maybe that's what it is. They close at 4:30. What time is it?
It's 2:40 p.m.
Oh, stock flew up. Okay, 5:51 this time. My memory's getting better. Perfect side-by-side partners to and from God. Who? And no question do they bring to thee, but we reveal to thee the truth and the best explanation thereof. So there's a cause, the cause of truth, and the best explanation thereof. Did you have a good tour? You're gonna keep track of your family. Good. The best explanation of the truth. Okay, we pray Jumma. And to show that the Christian prayer, that praying with those people was just as good as my required prayer in many ways. Didn't get a bloodbath to my brain, but to be polite, you gotta find your next prayer spot. Allah Akbar. Perfect prayer line, family. Taylor University. Three sisters and a father. If you're related by marriage or birth, you can see each other 100%. Except one man should not see another man between the belly button and the knee. And here's the largest minority, the individual. Perfect side-by-side partners to and from God. Who? able to lead us to mobility access for everyone. Hi. Hi. Sister to sister, and the largest minority, the individual, and who making like to dive in the pool, which would be a clear violation of hygiene. And what time is it now? Uh, 42:55, and it was something earlier. What time is it?
It's 2:46 p.m.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister. Okay, Mecca, come here. And we're done with that prayer. That's good. That's good, Mecca. I just remembered that who was worried that they get confused about you with this on here, so I'm going to turn it inside out. How's that? Good. This one came undone here. Good. Conserve, Allah Akbar, and expand recycling capacity. That's good. Hi. You want to go that way? Are you an attorney? Okay. You look like you might be an attorney, so I thought I'd ask. Yeah, we're doing a story about your right to be able to pray while you're on the Supreme Court grounds. Yeah, currently they say the old rule's been overturned and you can pray here now as long as you don't attract attention to a cause. You're a plaintiff in a case they just overturned?
Judge Howell just overturned the case. Did you read that story?
About the human DNA?
No, the Title 40 U.S. United States Code, Title 40.
Title 40.
You can't assemble on the plaza.
You can't assemble on the plaza?
Did you read that?
No, I'd missed that one.
It said the judge, it's a big case, and it's all over the internet. The judge tossed out the 60-year-old statute. You didn't read it, huh?
No, let me see if I can find it.
The judge was from the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia. Judge Beryl Howell, Howell.
Judge Asiri.
I don't know where you are, but you can help me find out. In location services settings, turn on both.
Find Judge Howell, Title 40.
Well, she made a decision in the
I
case.
don't understand. Find George Hall, Title 40. I can search the web for
Somebody something versus the case of TALN?
H-I-E. My name is Hodge. I'm Harold Hodge. It was in the case of Harold Hodge versus Talking ETLN. So she made a ruling. It was a 67-page ruling she made, and saying that the law, the federal law that said you can't picket or protest or freedom of expression on the plaza was too broad. She struck the law down.
Wow.
About a few days ago. I was the plaintiff in that case. Yes. So, but the Supreme Court, what they have done, they have Chief Judge Roberts have, like yesterday, took his own personal law or regulation down to the court and filed it, saying that the law is still intact.
Yeah, that's what they just told me here after I prayed. They say you can pray as long as you don't draw attention to a cause, whatever that means.
What kind of dog is this? I'm sorry.
Afghan Hound.
You're Mr. Who now?
I'm Hale or Omar.
Hales?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Hodge. Likewise.
Yes. The story's all over the internet. You didn't read that story, huh?
Not yet. Here, let's search the internet for Judge Howell, Howell,
Right.
on the U.S. Supreme Court Assembly decision. Assalamu alaikum.
Searching the web for Judge Hall HOWLL on the East U.S. Supreme Court Assembly decision.
Yeah. Okay, U.S. World News, NBC, Philadelphia. Sounds like the Secret Service getting into the act.
It's all over the internet. The Rutherford Institute, you heard of them, I'm sure. The Rutherford Institute out of Virginia, they represented me in this case.
Oh no, I hadn't heard about them yet. I know about ACLU, but the Rutherford.
The Rutherford Institute, they're really big on First Amendment rights and constitutional rights. Any constitutional rights, mainly Fourth Amendment right and First Amendment rights. They're big on that. John Whitehead.
John White, Rutherford organization?
Yes. Matter of fact, John went up against, Mr. Whitehead, should I say, he went up against Bill Clinton in the Monica Lewinsky scandal.
Oh, wow.
Paula Jones, he was the one that filed the case against Bill Clinton. He's representing me now, so.
Wow.
I'm hoping some media come out here. Channel 7, they may come out. They have put in a national alert out. They just did that a few minutes ago. They did it a few days ago. So we're hoping some media come out at 3, because I'm here till 3 to 6 to see who's going to show up.
And he said it was overly broad to say no assembly.
She called it repugnant.
Repugnant.
It was very repugnant. She called this law very repugnant. So it was really something John Whitehead, he said you usually don't hear that in the courts by a judge, not a federal judge, anyway, on such a law as this. So it's a big stink.
Yeah, repugnant odor, you know, there's normally a context for that. Also, it looks like pregnant, and it also looks like pugilist. And
the problem is the Chief Judge Roberts have taken it upon himself to try to change what the law, what the judge have said before the case even get here. So he's going beyond Congress. It's up to Congress to judge this case. I think that's me.
yeah,
Excuse me.
sure. Should I step away a little?
No, you can stay right here.
Okay.
I can get this. Good evening, Mr. Speaker. I'm pressing forward. I am at the Supreme Court, standing here in front of the plaza. Yes. No, from what I'm hearing, I just heard another gentleman just say he's with an organization, and he say that the only thing they're allowing you to do is to stand on the plaza if you're going to pray. And with
Well, I don't know about the only thing. I don't know
about
the
the
only
thing, but he said that, you know, as long as you don't draw
attention to a cause. Right, that's right.
So it's obvious that they are trying to stand on that law, that overbroad law that's in place. Although it was struck, yes. I will be here until 6 p.m. But yes, I will be here till 6 p.m. But I'm hoping people will, media will show up before that. But I will be here till 6 p.m.
You can do a phone feed anytime.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Excuse me, sir?
You can do a phone feed in this modern day and age now with Google. If you have a camera in your phone, I think you can actually feed your picture to the news media.
I think I'm old-fashioned.
Or voice only you can do too. Yeah, in person.
I like the old-fashioned way, which is good what you're just saying too, because they can get the news right on the spot like that. I have to do some research on that. I'm not so good with the technology, some of it anyway.
Yeah.
But I've heard of that, yes.
Well, that's probably why you ended up with a case about your right to stand with or stand alone on the plaza. Your choice. To what degree?
Well, I was out here in January 2011, and I was picketing. You'll see a 5-minute video of me picketing out here on YouTube, and I was out here picketing against the government for allowing for the government allowing police to brutalize and murder African American, Hispanic people continuously in this country. So that's why I was out here, and I was standing about right there.
By the fountain over there.
About 5 feet inward. I wasn't, I had pretty much the same thing on.
Yeah.
And with a big picket sign on, no distraction. I mean, no threatening, no destroying the property or anything like that. Because
like a big T-shirt, only larger.
Yes, but it was a sign I had on.
Yeah, just like a T-shirt.
Yes. However, going back to the case, what makes this case very interesting with Judge Howell to struck down this law is that they did the proper thing. They did an analysis. They went back in the history of the logistics or of the legislation, of the history of this so-called law. They went back in time and they traced it down, and it said nothing about you could not assemble to express yourself on the plaza. It was talking about, in canon of construction, it was talking about not destroying the plants, not throwing bricks at the building, or profanity, of course, or disrupting other people. But it did not say anything in the canon of construction that you could not assemble on the plaza. See, and that's the origin of the law. But
the canon of construction?
Yes. In other words,
what's the canon of construction?
In law, there's something called canon of construction. It's like apples, oranges, and grapes are fruits. They all go together.
Oh. So the canon's the category of the construction of your logic.
Yeah, because they were talking about like destroying plants, doing that, doing this. And it had nothing to do
we try to find a new prayer spot each time we pray. That's how sensitive we are. We say, yeah, you have the right to be up there, but like 5 times a day you're supposed to find a new spot so you don't monopolize or move in and make like one spot your spot. But that's a different problem.
Yeah, this is a much huger problem with the police issue, terrorizing and killing African Americans.
It's like apartheid, unstated.
Yeah, it's the apartheid, and that's what I said. That actually, if I have to come up here.
See, these people attract attention to themselves. Here's Eve with her fig leaf and her family, and they're so beautiful you want to know more about them. But we come with a sign and they say we're different than they are, and that's not fair.
Yeah, so I just find that and what you said is apartheid. I just did a statement on.
Oh yeah.
I just written a statement up on that the United States government, the way it operates here is like the apartheid.
There are all these unstated assumptions about how you are supposed to behave to be acceptable.
Yeah, it's apartheid, especially with African American, Hispanics, and people from abroad, from Africa. With the police are treating them like they did with the apartheid in South Africa. It is not right. It's not fair. and it's unjust, it's unmorally, it's unchristian-like, it's ungodly-like. So
Yeah, and they claim it's to maintain a business-like operation, and they close on Sunday in observance of the Christian Sabbath, and our banks are open on Sunday now, but they're still closed. This used to be open on Sunday. Now it too is closed on Sunday. So this apartheid against Hispanics and blacks creeps in as a Christian paternalism spreads over all the institutions.
well, yeah, and you know, and what they really,
They're such a small team. They can't keep control if they got to have a second shift start coming in.
yeah, it's unfortunately that it's this way. And what have to happen is that law have to be created, accurate law have to be created, and it have to be enforced.
No blocking the public right of way. No profanity. No
Right,
throwing bricks.
Right. I mean, even
Instead of this vague, no attracting attention to yourself,
Yeah.
that got thrown out. So now we'll say no attracting attention to a cause.
right. See, and see, so that's what's that's and it's unfortunately that the judge made it personal. Chief Justice John Roberts, he made
It's
this
the
very
federal
personal.
family. It's
You
his
know.
little family. All these people in here, there's some poor black workers. They're like house slaves. They're so good, and they come and they work, and they love the justices. They love the courts. I don't know if they have a union. I don't know what kind of rights they have. They got their own little place to sit in the back. They let them illegally park so that their spouses can come and go in the no parking area and wait for them and give them convenience to take them home. They take good care of them. But it's like a caste system.
Right. It's worse than a caste system. It's American slavery. It's what they. It's the new American slavery. It's more high tech. It's more undetected.
Yeah.
So this is what's going on in America, and they know it. I mean, Chief Justice John Roberts and the Congress, President Obama, they all know that it's unjust to tell people they cannot present themselves in a professional way on this plaza to express their concerns. This is the last resort. Where do we go to express our concern? You know?
Right, and then they do it, and then the other federal building says, okay, they do it, now we'll make you show ID to come into the Ronald Reagan International Trade Center because the USAID has a secret spy office in there, and we want to be sure who comes in our federal building. So no, the Supreme Court won't let you have a sign. You can't have a sign in our federal building, and it spreads.
It's unfortunately, I mean, democracy. Amy Goodman, I don't know if you know her.
Not yet.
Amy Goodman is she have her own show. Democracy Now. You heard of Democracy Now?
I had a truck, I put Democracy Wall on the truck.
Democracy Now is a very good organization. Amy Goodman is the president of that organization.
Okay.
Like she says, democracy now. We need democracy now. We don't have it. We don't have it. African American, Hispanics don't have it when you allow police to do what they do to us. We don't have it yet.
Police should have
We don't have it.
Velcro numerals on their backs like the NBA or the NFL so you can tell at a distance which police officer, oh, he did a really good job. I want to come in number 12 at 2 o'clock.
It shouldn't
Number
be that.
13, he was
Yeah.
beating a guy while they were down. I saw it from 30 feet away.
Yeah, but number 13 need to be fired without pay.
Yeah.
He need to be fired without pay.
I'm sorry,
Number
did you
13.
He might have said something. I didn't. Yeah,
He need to go to prison. That's
yeah,
what he did. He need
and
to
that's
go to
why they
prison.
don't have the numerals, so you can't tell which one it is unless you're so close that you too can be arrested. So some of the officers want it. They made a movie called Jackie Robinson. It's 42 is the name of the movie, the number. And the big line in there is Jackie Robinson. He's getting into the pros. He's the first black player up there. And
You
they,
need some water?
I have some water,
Yeah.
thanks. Yeah. Good. You need some water, Mecca?
Hey, Mr. Hodge.
I'm Mr. Hodge.
Hey, I'm Mark Sherman. I'm a reporter with the Associated Press.
Okay.
And I heard you were coming up here. But you're not carrying a placard? You're not testing the new regulation, not today.
Not this time, but that's in the works. Not this time.
Well, you'll let us know when you plan to.
Here, you want to hold this up?
I will do that. This time,
Teamwork.
take questions from the media. And when I think about what actually happened, I mean, when I feel about this case is great. However, what I just heard from the police chief, John Whitehead and Mr. Whitehead, that the chief judge, John Roberts himself, have gone down to the courts, U.S. District Court in D.C. here, and they filed a regulation, judgment or some type of.
They just made a regulation.
Right.
Here.
Right. And to me, he is being biased in this situation because he should allow the case to come to the Supreme Court. In this case, and he should not as a judge. So that tells me right there that there is another agenda on board. And to me, no matter what policy they make, I want to go there and pick it if I see an injustice. Like I have a police's cases, a thinking in the courts, and I have some other things that I'm working on with police brutality. Because I have an organization called Take Action Now that we are going to bring 300 people here to Washington to address the government on this issue about police brutality. Like people that they're getting terrorized by police, people that are getting murdered by police every day. And President Obama have not addressed the issue at no time. Congress is not addressing the issue. None of them are addressing the issue. So therefore, that they need someone to address the issue, and that's going to be me and we the people.
So if there's a time when you plan to test the new regulation,
I will
let us know.
I will do so, and I will definitely do that. Definitely.
I just prayed up there.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take care, take risks. Who was that, should I ask?
He was the Associated Press.
Associated Press. I missed his, I heard his name, but I missed it. But anyway, I don't want to steal your contacts. You see, he wants a picture. Maybe if you simply held the newspaper up, they wouldn't let you do that here either.
You can do it here.
Yeah, but you can't hold the newspaper
They don't
up.
even want you on the steps doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what he wants to see. You holding the newspaper up, them coming over to you.
My time is, there's a time and a season for everything. It's not the time. When the time, I already done it. I've been arrested up here.
They should have a file photo then from that.
I got arrested up here already, so it's not that I'm afraid to do it. It's just the proper time. And I strategize in my own way, by God's help, of course.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm not going to strategize on other people's time.
He's into marketing. He knows the readership. They got to see an interesting photo and then they'll start to read the caption in the article. So maybe you need a postcard size thing in your inside coat pocket that has you with your sign and the police officers walking towards you, and then your little retweet message on it, and any reporter be overjoyed to cover you. My question is, they say you can't draw attention to a cause. I say, well, you allow women here to wear barely a fig leaf, and they say, yeah, but that's not a cause. I say, yeah, pornography is a big cause. There's a band called the New Pornographers, and so they didn't have any answer for that. Then the difference between a T-shirt and a sign, kind of semantic. I think if the sign gets so big, it's hard for you to move, or you start to obstruct other people's movement.
See, the whole problem with, the motive behind telling people they can't come on the plaza to protest or picket or assemble, the reason behind that is that they do not want to address certain issues in our society, and they don't want people to know about it.
And they don't want to draw wingnuts any more than they do already to come here and set up shop here and make this their outdoor office. I said, okay, make a free speech box. Paint a blue rectangle up there, and first come, first serve. You get 15 minutes, then the next guy gets his turn. Put blue free speech box.
There's all kind of ways they can do it. It's
Yeah.
all different types of ways they can do it. And the thing is that the whole problem is that they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it because they're in denial of the truth, and the truth is they don't want the truth to be known.
Well, that's part of it, and the others they want
that
they
is the
want
truth.
the Excalibur. They want they want who to come and pull Excalibur out and Cincinnatus and save the country. Now he would like a number on his back, like we were talking about the Jackie Robinson movie, 42. And the line in there is the coach from New York, who's going to hire the first black in professional baseball, says to Jackie, they're going to hit you. They're going to make you angry. They're going to do everything they can to get you to act out on them so that they can blame you. You got to tell me that you're going to be able to control yourself and not show your anger when they gang up on you. And Jackie looks him in the eye and he says, you give me a number on my back and I'll give you the guts. And I think some of the cops helped finance and make that movie. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. It would not.
Yeah, they're good cops and they're bad cops, you
It
know?
would not surprise me whatsoever.
So if we can get a rule that they have to identify themselves with larger numbers, maybe even wear iPad badges that keep a memory, and the chief keeps it all on a database for 90 days unless there's a court order, and things start to change pretty quickly. Then all of a sudden there'll be a huge amount of momentum for a lot of things that are going on under the table to suddenly be legal, because as they leave, because they don't want this, they'll want to get the other jobs to do legally what's been going on under the table, and they know so much about it. If it is legal, they might do a damn good job getting it on the table. So the hip-hop guy shows up today on that note. It came up yesterday. USCP offloaded a huge black duffel bag from one vehicle and transferred it to another vehicle after the talk yesterday. Here's the U.S. Air Force over here.
They're overrated out here today. I noticed. I had got an email from the Rutherford Institute about 3 minutes before I got here. They told me that they out there looking all menace. The police were looking menace out here, so they said be careful out here. So, but I wasn't really worried about that. So I'm not that type to worry like that, because I'm going to do what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter. You know.
Hi, Bird. Well, you're going to do what you're going to do until and unless anyone proves it's the will of God that you do otherwise.
That's right. Absolutely. The way it has to be.
That's what we mean when we say we're a slave of God. We mean we're a slave to the logic. We obey. Anybody can prove to anyone else, and no one's done this with Syria or Iraq or Iran. No one's tried to prove that this is the will of God, what we want. At least not yet. I've been trying. Hi, how are you?
I didn't even know he was the guy that was standing there was a reporter. I got to pay more attention. I thought he was someone on the inside.
Yeah, I did too. He was looking with one eye like this for a while and stuff.
I didn't know, and then I read his badge. It said Associate Press.
And he's so kind, he didn't want to interrupt you because we were talking.
I don't know if that was the case. I think he wasn't for sure who I was.
That's another factor, yeah.
So I think that was
And he waited till we got to the water part, and then he came over. There seemed to be a certain amount of humility. I mean, an important guy like that, waiting and all that time watching us.
Right.
So I've said 2 prayers up there. Technically, we're supposed to say 3 prayers, and we finished a set. So I guess we go back up and try to say one more prayer, and then we can go. You're probably thirsty, and I don't have your water dish. I'm sorry, I don't have a card with me. I'd offer you my card.
I'll take your number and name. I'll do
Okay.
that once you finish praying. I'll wait. until you
Wow.
finish.
All right. Cool. Great.
Prayer is important. Say a prayer for me.
Yeah, about the right to assemble for any cause and to correct the injustice against blacks and Hispanics in particular.
African American, Hispanics,
African-American.
and Africans that are from abroad, because Africans from abroad in the islands, they are brutalized here also. It's horrible. It's horrible.
And yet there are a lot of black employees in the court like we were talking about, and they're treated very well. In a sort of, but there's a little of that house slave aspect to it.
It's like Malcolm X says, you know, you have the house slave and you have the field slave.
Yeah.
So you have that also.
But they're also intelligent and rational in there, that were we able to come up with a really clear proof that it's the will of God that they be treated differently, and they would probably all get behind it, like
I think
Excalibur.
I think some of them in there, I wouldn't mark them as a enemy of the cause.
The drug users are really reticent. They like it the way it is.
Yeah.
They're using drugs in there. They don't want what we want.
Well, they have to come to grips. Eventually, they're gonna have to change. It's just a simple fact.
Because we can put sewer epidemiology
Yeah.
test equipment on the sewer mains. We're going to know what's coming out of these buildings.
Well, the thing is that sooner or later, the people are gonna rise up against the people.
Well, there's two ways they can rise up. They can rise up like against Frankenstein's castle and tear it down, or they can rise up like Twitter and crowdsourcing and rationally take control.
Well, you know, I'm a firm believer. If you shame someone enough, and there's enough people around,
Yeah.
and you put the pressure on it, and you know, is that ancient thing? Sometimes you have to become civil disobedient
Yeah.
because you have to break the law to make the law
Right.
correct.
Right.
So
At
sometimes
the-
that has to happen.
At the same time, we say those who are not tormented, terrorized, cornered, or embarrassed, and who torment, terrorize, corner, or embarrass others not. The Jews are so sensitive that they totally admire people who can find remedies that don't even embarrass anyone. Everyone comes out like a hero. So that's part of the prayer all the Muslims say 5 times a day. The concluding line of Surah Al-Fatiha is those who are not tormented and who torment others not, nor even embarrass them. So like you say, shame, sometimes you got to shame. I know that feeling from the internet, man. You just want to tear people down and be sarcastic and mocking and make the point of how wrong they are,
Not in that sense so much.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of mocking people, because when you're dealing with serious social issues,
Yeah.
it's not a matter of mocking, and it shouldn't be laughed at.
Yeah.
We should
Hi.
try to do more and be sincere about the cause,
Yeah.
because the cause that I'm fighting for. It's a serious cause, and I don't have time to mock anyone.
Right. So when you say shame, you mean to prove how wrong they are, to what degree.
Yes.
But rather than have them feel the shame or be embarrassed publicly, the winning strategy is for them to get a way out, like in 200 years, 250 years, the United States has gotten so much bigger and better that this old way that we were trying to hold up
When you
is
say
now
better,
obsolete.
When you say better, what
Yeah.
do you mean by that? Better? Because it's not better to me at all. It's not. The United States have gotten worse.
Yeah, the 1% and stuff like that. There's no longer go west, young man, and rip off some more Indian land and
Well-
pyramid another Ponzi scheme. I mean, that's kind of run out.
Well, the thing is, you got a lot of other schemes that have not been addressed,
Yeah.
like the African American being oppressed continuously in this nation. That has not been addressed from day one since Lincoln so-called freed the slaves.
Yeah, I saw that movie,
You know,
Lincoln.
he didn't free any slaves. He only freed some of the slaves. That part they probably didn't even say in the movie.
Did you
He
get
only-
some good pictures?
He only did it, and Lincoln only did that to save the Union. Well, he wanted some of the money, the slave labor money from the South. That's what that was all about. And that wasn't. It was hypocritical. Lincoln was. He said it in one of his letters. He could.
Very good. Send it to whale12345 at Gmail, please.
Whale?
Whale.
Sure, hang on, I'll write that down.
Thanks.
Got a few of them.
Good. Yeah, God does good work, doesn't God? Whale, WHALE 12345 at gmail.com. You smell good, wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, please. And put in the line photo dog or something.
Cool. Thanks for letting me take them.
You're welcome. Thank you for taking them.
I was talking about
The
Lincoln.
Civil War,
I was
Lincoln.
talking about Lincoln.
Yeah.
And the whole point of Lincoln doing what he did, the little that he did do, it's like you got people that been in slavery for probably 70, 80, 90 years, some of them, and then you free them and give them nothing. What kind of freedom is that? I mean,
They gave them D.C. They came and huddled around their emancipators. They got jobs here as the field and house slaves,
but
working
yeah,
for the
yeah,
federal
yeah,
government,
yeah,
and
but-
they're still here generations later.
but the whole point of that whole situation was that Lincoln, most people don't know that Lincoln told the Union, you can keep your slaves. He told the Union states, you can keep your slaves if you join the Union.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
And he told the Confederate states, you can't keep your slaves.
because they're property, and we're confiscating your
Because
property.
you do not agree with us.
Right, you left. You're trying to leave the Union, so
Yeah.
you'll lose your property rights.
So
Yeah.
that's so hypocritical, because you're going to tell some states they can keep their slaves and tell other states they can't keep their slaves. That tells anyone that is competent
Yeah.
that his whole intent and motive was not to free slaves or
Right,
people
it's
that
to
were
preserve the
slaves.
Union.
all
You
it
look
was.
at the preamble of the Constitution, and it gives you 6 prerequisites for holding the whole thing together. First and most important, a more perfect union. Second, establish justice. It's second. It's more important to be a union than it is to be just.
Look, it's all about the dollar.
Well, number 3 is
the root of all
domestic tranquility.
the root of all evil.
There's some things money can't buy, like peace and quiet and stuff. The fourth one is if you can't preserve the domestic tranquility, then you got to talk about provide for the common defense. The fifth one is promote the general welfare. You got to employ those soldiers after you fight. And then the last one is to be able to bestow the blessings of liberty upon yourself and your posterity. And it's in a rank order. There's a reason they listed them in that order. So anytime you feel there's an injustice, you got to say, is it injustice that's consistent with the order? Is this injustice making a stronger union until we can afford to be that fair? Or is this fairness here worthy of the domestic tranquility disturbance that is going on because they ruled this way, that the justice is so much more important to keep the union together that we have to put up with all this protesting in the streets and stuff because justice said you do have the right for an abortion. And then the other one is to have the domestic tranquility. Is it so much more important that you send the troops out to quiet things down to bring back the domestic tranquility? They're in a nested order, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot to it. It just baffles me. I mean, it's you know.
Well, your
you
very
know,
name, your name implies pilgrimage, Hajj,
I've
Islamic.
heard people say that.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that.
So when you address the issue
Although
of,
I don't like, my name is not spelt like the Hodge.
oh, okay,
My name is spelled Hodge.
oh,
And
Hajj.
I'm not proud of my last name because I know how I got the last name. You know, so some people, oh, I'm so proud of my last name Jefferson. It's like my grandfather his name was Howard Jefferson, and I'm sure that Thomas Jefferson raped some of my ancestors because of my grandfather's last name was Jefferson. His father's name was Augustus Jefferson, and he looked as light as you, almost. So
I'm getting pretty red in all this sunlight here.
Maybe you wanna.
Find some shade and pray.
I don't know what you want to do. That's up to you. You in
Yeah.
charge of your prayer, and you're your God where you want to do it.
Yeah. So we covered a lot of ground.
I gotta get your name and number.
Yeah, you said after we prayed, but
Oh no, after you pray. I'm sorry. Go pray first.
I wonder if we can pray over there on the grass. I've prayed there before in the past. I don't know if we. I wonder if we can even walk over there. Let's see, Mecca. Come on. What's this, Mecca, here? Good, Mecca. Hi. As long as we're smart enough to take off a shoe, we can all walk on the grass without killing it. Or us. Good, Mecca. Hi. Here. Want some water? Okay. Okay, I and who else now rejoin the intention to make or make up what prayer or prayers. This would be 2-unit voluntary departure prayer from Juma prayer for today. I and who else need to touch and hold, whose Messiah self-repair, soft and hardware, dance and songbook thread, whose Holy Quran, whose Holy Bible. Good. Am I and who else clean enough to pray? Yeah. Do I and who else know what time it is? It's time to change the thing again. Yeah, that's the other phone, huh? Good. Okay. Good. Okay, another 55 minutes. Bismillah.